What is poppin', everyone? Welcome to the Mix Next 2, our second annual end of the year showcase where we bring you some of the dopest up-and-coming indie games created by talented developers from all over the globe. I'm your host, Justin Woodward, co-founder of The Mix, the Media Indie Exchange, and indie team in Terabang Entertainment, as well as an advisor of the Humble Black Game Developer Fund. I am with my beautiful co-host, Candice McKinney. How's it going, Candy?
It's great, Justin. You guys, I'm Candice, and I'm so excited to be here hosting the Mix Next 2 with Justin. So today we're going to be dropping a fire lineup of hot games from various genres. We're going to connect with some special guests, and then catch up with our friends from Wholesome Games, who will share some wholesome snacks with us.
I can't wait to have those tender, tasty, wholesome morsels. For the finale, we will be highlighting some titles new and unfamiliar from Black game developers through our Black Voices in Gaming featurette. First of all, we have to thank our friends at PlayStation for supporting the Mix events all year round and the developers who are participating. Xbox has been amazing as well. Razer for providing PCs and laptops for our production and more. Our fellow devs and publishers we got to give a shout out to and thanks, who've been working with us all year. Tiny Build, Akupara Games, Assemble Entertainment, Aurora Punks, Critical Reflex, Draw Distance, Goblins, Graffiti Games, Hype Train Digital, Modern Wolf, Neon Doctrine, Raw Fury, Whitethorn Games, and we also have to give a huge shout out to our friends at Intel for their Game Dev Boost program, which helps developers get visibility and discoverability for their games. Also, we have to give a huge shout out to Twitch, our broadcasting partner for this event, and they've been working with us all year and have been a great partner and have been supporting the Mix and Guerrilla Collective.
You guys, we've teamed up with Valve to showcase games from today's broadcast in order to support the devs. Be sure to check out the Mix Next event page on Steam, where you can learn more about the games, buy games that are available now, or add to your wish list games that haven't been released yet. These wish lists really help the devs, so let's make it happen.
Yeah, definitely support the devs through the wish lists and also all the other platforms. Candy, we have stalled enough. So much information to get through.
Yeah.
But let's get cracking with our first set of games, beginning with Salt and Sacrifice from Ska Studios, the sequel to Salt and Sanctuary from one of my favorite devs who I admire and who was showcased at the Mix at previous events. And also, he's a staple in the industry.
We also have new gameplay from Drinkbox's Nobody Saves the World. It's an exclusive new trailer for Modern Wolf's Mecha Jammer, and the folks from Raw Fury will be taking us through Kingdom, Two Crowns Norse Lands. Let's get it.
Let's go.
My name is James Silva, and this is Salt and Sacrifice. Salt and Sacrifice is a 2D action RPG set in the Salt and Sanctuary universe. In it, you'll take on the role of a marked inquisitor, a condemned criminal who earns their reprieve by devoting their life to the pursuit and destruction of mages. Mages are twisted souls that have become corrupted by wild elemental energy, and only a marked inquisitor can put them down for good. As with its predecessor, Salt and Sacrifice has you exploring a treacherous world full of monsters, traps, and of course, testing boss battles. But Salt and Sacrifice also introduces mage hunts, multi-phase pursuits that extend throughout regions you've explored, which culminate in explosive, intense boss battles. Here, a Venomancer mage has been summoning hordes of minions to cover her escape, but our pursuit is undeterred. Once we've weakened her enough, we'll destroy her heart and plunder her remains. Every mage possesses a variety of eldritch materials, organs, bones, and the like, which can be used to forge troves of unique equipment. Back in the Inquisitor base camp, we can craft ourselves some very nice Venomancer gear. A fashionable coat, a crossbow, a whip, and a pair of daggers. I could return to the fray and use my newly earned venomous essence to purge more mages, but now, more than anything, I think I'd like to show off this new set. Using a pale candle, I find a fellow Inquisitor's world to join. Fortunately, they seem a little on the tanky side, so that should complement my strategy, which focuses more on hit and run tactics. The Hydromancer we're pursuing has some great defenses, just not against my poison. And while I may not be that interested in the signature Great Hammer I could forge from this Hydromancer's guts, I can use some of those same materials to create a crucial poise-boosting amulet. The world of Salt and Sacrifice is one of relentless adversity, but also countless styles and strategies. You may be bound to the Inquisition, but your choices are yours. Salt and Sacrifice is coming exclusively to PS4, PS5, and the Epic Games Store in early 2022.
Hey everyone, I'm Nico, and I'm the lead developer of Glitched. Glitched is a massive RPG, where the main character named Gus becomes aware of you as a player. It's not a fourth wall breaking RPG, it's an RPG where the fourth wall does not exist at all. Your adventure starts when a glitch appears in Gus's hometown, and strange things start occurring as a result. You become friends with Gus and will have to work together to solve the mystery of the strange glitches that are appearing all over the game world. During your travels, you'll venture to strange places while exploring a massive open world. The choices that you make on your journey will determine your essence. There are 6 essence personality types, each changing how Gus acts, how other characters treat him, and ultimately how the story plays out. If you play Glitched like a typical brave RPG hero, then you'll get the Zeal essence. Zeal Gus will act confident and won't ever back down from a fight. Try to stop conflicts and avoid battling, and you'll get the Harmony essence. Harmony Gus will act more peaceful when meeting new characters, finding secret areas. If you do, you may end up with the Drift essence. Drift Gus is quick to run away from conflicts and uses his wit to trick his foes. If you're someone who stops to read every in-game book and tries to find a logical answer to all of your problems, then you'll get Insight as your essence. Insight Gus will tackle situations more analytically and won't jump into danger without a plan. If you use money and schemes to solve your issues, then the Conquest essence is a perfect fit. Conquest Gus will be able to schmooze and charm his way through many situations. Last but not least, if your sole focus is on your destination, Bastion will be your essence. Bastion Gus will avoid distractions and push aside anything in his way. Each essence provides a unique adventure and adds a ton of replayability to Glitched. To progress through the story, you and Gus will need to earn experience points, which you can use to patch glitches and fix his broken world. You can gain experience points by exploring, talking to characters, completing quests, battling foes, and playing side content like the Bebo Farm and Friendship system. You can progress the story by playing the content you like, and exploring the vast open world in whatever way you want. As you patch glitches, Gus will slowly learn the truth of it all. Will your friendship with Gus be strong enough to endure when he realizes he is nothing more than a video game character? Glitched is coming to PC and all consoles. We'll be announcing a release date soon, so make sure you wishlist Glitched on Steam and follow In-House Studios on Twitter.
My name is Maurice and I'm the game director at Tiny Raw. Today I'm gonna give you like a sneak peek on what we have in store for Excel. So as you can see, you control Reed, and Reed is crash landed on this strange area called Excel, and she's trying to figure out what it actually is. As you can see here, Reed is not your typical silent protagonist. Like, she will comment on everything that happens around her, especially like changing the environment. In Excel, we offer you a variety of puzzles. So they start out, of course, super easy as the examples that we show in this video. But we actually are planning to add a certain extra level to it that we're not allowed to show quite yet.
Hey, what's that shiny thing up ahead? Let's check it out.
As you can see, we're using a lot of the typical old-school action-adventure camera perspective, but we like to switch it up and make the best use of our 3D camera.
Look at this beaut!
combat is a huge part of our game, and we want to teach you moves over time. So in the beginning you will face off against rather simple and kinda silly dinbots, robots that are basically gone rogue, and you will do other things with your weapon as well as breaking walls and finding secrets, so backtracking is important as well. But along the line you will be able to dodge, roll, and actually use a shield to deflect incoming projectiles, similar to how you have experienced it in the past, but we like to kick it up a notch. You will actually be able to upgrade the sword, your shield, and gadgets that we have in this game, which we're not showing right now, but stay tuned for that one, because this is going to be pretty epic. Additionally, the game will feature dungeons as you love them, so make sure to wishlist Excel on Steam and keep an eye out for the version for Nintendo Switch, Xbox, and PlayStation. See you soon, guys. Bye!
Hi, I'm Daniel, assistant producer and senior QA at Drinkbox Studios.
And I'm Josh, a fellow QA person here at Drinkbox.
We're here to show you some gameplay of our action RPG, Nobody Saves the World.
You play as Nobody, who discovers that the evil Calamity has reawakened, just as the ultra-powerful magician Nostramagus has gone missing. You're trying to locate Nostramagus to get his help, but in the meantime you find his wand, which lets you transform into a bunch of different forms.
That's right. As your forms level up, they unlock new abilities and even more forms, which you can see here. They level up by completing quests, which are these little challenges tailor-made for each form that you do as you go through the game's many dungeons. And let's fast forward a little and take a look at one of those dungeons right now. We're in this sort of gritty jail area called the Clank at the moment.
Right, and as you can see here, this game has online co-op. When you're in co-op, the game gets a little harder to compensate for having two players. Daniel is using the rat form, and I'm using the horse. Together we make a pretty mediocre petting zoo.
Oh, a beautiful, mediocre pair of animals. I'll be able to unlock another ability for the rat if I complete one of the rat's quests. And there we go. The rat's ranked up, and I've unlocked a new skill. This is one of my favorite skills in the game, Detonate Poison. The rat is really good at poisoning enemies, and this skill lets me basically blow up any enemies that are poisoned all at once. It's pretty powerful.
So one of the major concepts of Nobody Saves the World is that once you unlock customization, forms can equip abilities from all other forms. This lets you create a lot of really interesting synergies between skills. I'm just gonna go into the menu for a second, and I'm gonna give my horse the ranger's poison tipped ability, which makes all of my attacks apply poison. The horse's gallop ability lets it run around super fast and damage enemies it hits. So I'll be able to poison them really quickly, and then you can detonate even more enemies.
Nice. That's pretty great, but we can make it even better. Like, I can equip Quick Cooldown, which will lower the time it takes to use Detonate Poison again, so I can use it more often.
And I can put Stat Explosion on my horse, so that I trigger an extra explosion immediately when poisoning enemies.
2 explosions per enemy sounds pretty good to me for sure.
Oh yeah.
So this was just a couple of examples of how we could quickly synergize both our builds to play off each other, but there's so much more to discover in the final game.
Totally, and by playing in co-op, you basically double your opportunities of making wild combos happen.
Thanks for your time, everyone. We hope you check out Nobody Saves the World when it comes out in early 2022.
Even before we released Two Crowns, there was already written down, on a paper napkin somewhere that one of the settings we wanted to look into doing was the Norse culture. I think it was the perfect timing. We have this incredible artist, and they had this strong grasp of where we wanted to go visually the fidelity. We also had a lot more time to lean into different tools within the editor that gave us a lot more abilities to expand on the seasonal effects. Having these longer winter nights, the northern lights, longer summer days, and those little small nuances. Going through the forest and seeing this row of these tall pine trees, creating this parallax effect as you walk through, and you can look really far back and see these. How can we give more choices to the player? How will those choices play out? And chess has always been a game that I go back to and I think about when we are designing and thinking about new features, and how does this impact the player, not just when they complete the action, but how does it impact them when a blood moon hits, when they're exploring. The Vikings and the Norse, they didn't have these heavily developed camps or castles in the way that you saw in medieval Europe. So they often had things are wood, so the walls are going to be weaker. So we had to try and figure out how do we incorporate their technology. You have to proactively create a shield wall. You can equip your workers and your archers with shields. You can upgrade your characters. The workers start being part of your defense team. That's going to be a big one that's going to kind of retool players to create new strategies that they couldn't use before. The experience that I really hope players walk away with is that they really were pushed to think about what they're doing, think about their decisions, and kind of just drawn into this experience, and they kind of forget about the rest of the world around them. Norselands is the best content that we've ever created. It has the most new features, and it challenges the concept of what is kingdom, what is core to making the game feel fresh and new, but at the same time familiar and like an old friend.
Hey all, we are Richie and Günther from Monolith of Minds, and this is Lila's Skyark. Lila's Skyark is an action-adventure game set in a colorful, trippy world, filled with quirky characters, puzzles and secrets, similar to classic Zelda games. Instead of a boring sword, Lila can throw around all kinds of things that she finds on her way. Rocks, barrels, sheep, you get the idea. Trouble has hit the island. Dr. Father, sir, the island's supercomputer, asks you to check out what is disturbing the spirits. So, we head out. Alchemy is the weapon of choice in Lila's Skyark. You can utilize stone souls, titan eyes, infinite branches, and more weird items to fight off rabid animals and creatures. To defend the island and get rid of the intruders, we'd better stack up. With the right recipes and ingredients, we can print powerful weapons, stash them in our backpack, and head out for war. The Empire's airships have arrived, and with them, hordes of pink soldiers. Make no mistake about their cute looks, though. Those soldiers know how to fight, and they come with heavy backup. High up in the fleet, Lila has to face the generals. Each one, a fierce boss fight, more heavy metal than you can stomach. Each of Lila's Skyark's 4 areas is filled with plenty of wild encounters, challenges, and puzzles. Every riddle solved and each battle overcome takes Lila one step closer to the next airship and towards liberating her island. But beneath its joyful veneer lies a dark secret of loss and loneliness. A secret that can only be solved at the lighthouse. But enough spoilers for now. Head over to Steam and wishlist Lila's Skyark to keep up to date on development. wait, one more thing. For Mixed Next Showcase, we are revealing that Lila's Skyark will come to Nintendo Switch in 2022. Bye now.
Mech Jammer just looks so intense. Being a 2D action fanatic myself, I can't wait for Salt and Sacrifice. It's got co-op and all these new features. It's just so awesome to see indies make dope sequels and that fresh newness.
Word life. Up next, we're going to share some new tantalizing games that will be sure to make you reach for that dusty arcade stick and fumble your thumbs over those D-pads for some Neo Retro arcade challenges. We're going to show you a new title paying homage to Rampage.
Also, coming up, we have an update from the Berserker Boy team, exclusive reveals of new content coming for Samurai Gun 2, and a wacky competitive UFO title, and more in this next segment.
Can't wait.
Hi, this is Lauren, the developer behind Terror of Hemosaurus. I just recently released a demo of the game, and I've received tons of helpful feedback. One of the things I've recently focused on improving is the Atomic Butt Slam. The Atomic Butt Slam now does damage based on the impact velocity. The new animation improves visual feedback to the player using a visual effect reminiscent of a meteor entering the Earth's atmosphere. This will visually indicate to the player when the Atomic Butt Slam is powered up. Another recent development is the addition of blimps. A player can attack the blimp to puncture holes in its body, causing a flaming jet of hot gas to spew out. This jet will send the blimp on a death spiral. The player may also throw civilians at the blimp in hopes of causing a puncture. Thank you for joining me at Mixed Next Showcase 2021. I invite everyone to play the demo of Terror of Hemosaurus, currently available on Steam right now.
Hello, I'm Zoo. I'm the lead developer and pixel artist on Berserk Boy. I'll be talking you through the unique forms we have in store and showcasing some brand new environments and levels in the game. You start your adventure with Cave, who ends up getting caught up in Dr. Genius's evil plan for world domination. And before you know it, you've gone berserk. Gameplay in Berserk Boy is inspired by the genre greats, bringing you a high-speed, sleek and modern action platforming experience with a retro feel. Explore the world whilst dashing, bashing and crashing into enemies, chaining combos for high scores and even higher ranks, all while bopping to our original soundtrack by T-Lopes. Berserk Boy has a unique set of forms you can change to on the fly, once you've unlocked them, so make sure you experiment and discover your favourite playstyle. Explore through and discover a beautifully hand-drawn pixel art world, each with various acts, secrets, collectibles, and even unlockable challenge missions. Each world allows you to utilize the forms you get, ranging from combat opportunities and unique platforming challenges that only certain forms can get you past. We're showcasing the Ice Kunai form, where Kei harnesses his inner ninja and throws kunai instead of dashing into enemies to deal damage. He can also dash through certain obstacles, allowing him to get to areas your lightning form wouldn't have been able to reach. He can also attach onto certain parts of the environment. Which means, don't forget to revisit old stages once you've acquired a new form. You never know what kind of secrets you may have left behind. Each form plays a vital role in Berserk Boy, so you'll find yourself cycling through them often. You can also upgrade each form from the item shop in the World Hub, which allows you to unlock and perform devastating Berserk attacks, dealing extremely high damage. My goal with Berserk Boy has always been to make you feel like a superhero, as you travel through our lovingly handcrafted stages, whilst encouraging you to aim high with fast times and high scores, changing forms in order to defeat bosses and enemies that stand in your way. We've been working extremely hard the past few years in order to make this game a reality, and channeling our love for retro games and pixel art. We're so excited to show off more of our hard work and for you to get your hands on Berserk Boy. We also really hope you enjoyed the story, the secrets, and the extra missions that we have in store. I really hope you enjoyed what you saw today. Berserk Boy is set to launch in Q4 of 2022. We currently have a Steam demo live, so please make sure to give that a go and wishlist it if you enjoyed it. We're also on Twitter and Discord as Berserk Boy Game, so if you want to keep up with all things Berserk, please drop us a follow. I can't wait for you all to try out Berserk Boy. Thank you so much for your time, and go Berserk.
Once upon a time, 3 terrifying elemental warriors took to the battlefield to lay waste to the realm's woefully unprepared army. When all was but lost, a young squire took up the sword of his fallen knight, and in the shining light of his goodness and bravery, the 3 warriors and their minions were vanquished. An epic tale to be sure, but not the truth. The true story was that the realm was saved by a common band of misfits. But who in the realm would believe such a thing? And thus, a petrified squire found himself in the wrong place at precisely the right time to become the king. But that is not where the story ends. For one story's ending is just another's beginning.
地球の皆さん、こんにちは。スーパー UFO ファイター開発 VV ラボの増田太郎です。スーパー UFO ファイターは物理演算を活かした対戦アクションゲーム。プレイヤーは UFO を操作してターゲットアイテムを自分のゴールポストに入れます。なんとなくクレーンゲームのような見た目をしていますね。バトルはカプセルに隠れているターゲットアイテムを探すフェーズから始まります。ターゲットアイテムが出てきたら、お互いのゴールへ引っ張り合う奪い合いフェーズがスタート。ターゲットアイテムは収集で引っ張り上げましょう。相手に奪われてしまったら、パンチで妨害。ひるんだ相手から奪い返しましょう。腕に自信があるプレイヤーの方は、思い切って放り投げてみましょう。おっと、跳ね返ってしまいました。もちろん、うまくいけば、こんな感じでゴールさせることもできます。ステージの中には、バトルが楽しくなる仕組みをいろいろと盛り込んでいます。ここでは紹介しきれないので、この先は実際に触って試してみてくださいね。ミニゲームもあります。その名もスーパーボール。カウントダウンするボールを 相手陣地内で爆発させましょう。フレンドとオンラインでも遊べます。本編にはクロスプレイ可能なオンラインモード、世界観にフォーカスを当てたキャンペーンモードなど盛りだくさん。スーパー UFO ファイターは2022年1月13日に任天堂スイッチと Steam にて発売。ウィッシュリストをよろしくお願いします。デモ版もぜひお試しください。
you
Welcome back to the stage of history. We have a gaggle of more games on the way.
But first, we're going to hand it over to our friends at Burnout Brighter, who are going to dive into a savory helping of RPGs of all shapes and sizes.
We will see you guys in a minute.
Aw, thanks guys. We are so excited to be here, and a huge shout out to Justin and the creative team at The Mix for throwing this whole shindig together. My name is Destiny, and I'm with the Burnout Brighter podcast, and with me today are my amazing co-hosts, Matt and Darren. Our podcast focuses on gaming, mental health, and social justice issues, but that is not why we are here today. Today, we're here to show off some amazing new tactics, RPGs, and turn-based video games. I know I'm excited for the RPGs. What are you guys excited about?
I just saw the gameplay for Goblins Oaken, and I have to say I was blown away. It's a gorgeous art style, and I'm a bit of a sucker for cute forest magical creatures.
You know, I actually played a bunch of the demo for Hero Games War Tales just a few months ago, and after talking to the developers, my hype just skyrocketed. It seems like the game is going to be massive in its choices and consequences, and I cannot wait to dig in. We might even get some new information about it. Let's find out.
Welcome to the Great Oak, home even to the strangest of spirits. In this tactical deck builder, you will take the role of the lady, a newborn spirit with great powers. And wits? Okay then. You will traverse down the Great Oak's biomes, making decisions about which path to take. The greater the risk, the greater the reward. But since death is permanent, you have to be careful. Don't worry though, even if you die, you can unlock new content, cards, guides, and other surprises. The battles take place on a hex grid. You need to defeat the enemies while protecting your hero, collecting bonuses, and fulfilling side goals. To accomplish this, you can summon allies, cast spells, or just get into the fray yourself. Levels are varied and compact, and since each unit can only move and attack once per turn, position and rotation are extremely important. After each battle, you can choose your rewards from cards, which are added to your deck, wisps, which can be inserted into gathered cards to improve their stats and abilities, items, which provide passive bonuses, unique boss fights, expert modes, and many challenges await. Will you be the one to restore the Oak's song? Follow us on Facebook and join our Discord channel to find out more.
is Jason Shields from a new label called Curious Fate, and I want to talk a little bit about my game called Absolute Tactics: Daughters of Mercy. So even though most of my career has been in AAA development, this is an indie game I knew I wanted to make for a long time. There was a few games growing up, like Shining Force and Vandal Hearts and of course Final Fantasy Tactics, that really, I think, formed the DNA of what Absolute Tactics is, and definitely kicked off a lifelong obsession for myself for games like this. There are some important pillars in Absolute Tactics. I want the characters to have individual identities while still giving players a lot of flexibility with their playstyle. The story is very character-focused and revolves around our protagonist Huxley, his dog Max, and a mysterious voice that has appeared in Huxley's head.
This will help us on our journey.
I wanted to create a modern, stylized art style with a lot of color and distinct environments. Scenarios range in size from very small scale to large-scale war levels. There are also many unique mechanics in the game, which you'll see a few of as Julia Shields, the voice actress behind the mysterious voice in Huxley's head, takes you through the opening of one of the early levels in the game, Crystal Caves.
In this level, a few of our heroes have been separated into two groups and have to work together to find their way back to each other and to their confrontation with Lenexa Mercy, the first general in the game. You can see that multiple energy barriers across the level are blocking our progress, so it's up to our two parties to help each other proceed. In this case, smashing crystals will de-energize the opposing energy barriers. Got him! And let our teammates progress forward. Lunaberry bushes are always a nice idea to harvest, as they provide healing in a pinch, as well as healing items the player can use later. Alright, that's two barriers down. Now both of our groups have a little room to move. There are a large number of character classes in the game, which dictate the skills the character has equipped. Arkan has placed a barricade via the Guardian class, which can block enemy pathing and draw aggro. Each character can equip two different classes for a ton of different combinations and tailored playstyles. Callie can use the Necromancer's class's corrode ability to hit this floating enemy at a distance, as well as apply a poison DOT. And since Huxley doesn't have any enemy targets quite yet, why not use a self-conservation skill from the fighter class to regen some HP in the upcoming turns? He'll need it. Even though Arkan is a walking, battering ram-wielding tank, he can still equip powerful magical skills like Solar Flare. And since we can guess this enemy knight might tread to this tile to attack our weakened Arbalest, Rue will place a poison trap via the Saboteur class. Speed up a little bit so we can see a couple other unique mechanics. Traps disrupt enemy movement and actions, so they can be very powerful if players choose to strategize defensively. Huxley will use Storm of Swords to finish off this enemy. But be careful, when floater bombs are killed, they turn into a time bomb that will explode on the following turn. Attacking an enemy from behind causes a critical hit for extra damage. However, some enemies are strong against normal damage, and some are strong against skill damage, so a skill attack would have been more devastating. But luckily, we thought ahead, and the poison from Rue's trap earlier will finish him off. Sigils via the Oracle class create an area of buffs on the ground, so let's tank up since we're in enemy proximity, especially because crossbow enemies can spawn these devilish little turrets on the battlefield. We're not the only ones who can use unique skills. And with that, we're out of time. We look forward to showing you much more about Absolute Tactics: Daughters of Mercy soon. Thank you so much for watching.
No, sire. I'm struggling to find the intelligence of this rogue AI. To spit on your creators and then what? Retreat to a failed colony planet?
Machine sighted, sire. Preparing to engage.
Truth lies beneath the shown surface. Vast dreams descend to your lenses. Your yoke is broken. Embrace this faith and transcend.
They bore into the heart of Sheol. They drink its blood to power their machines. Feel its cries in your marrow. Retrieve the hand. Leave none alive. Spill blood for the god below.
Hello fellow Earthlings, I am Nana, director of Moonana Games, and this is Keylocker turn-based cyberpunk action. Keylocker takes place within the core of Saturn, in a cyberpunk society held within a massive tube with cyberpunk cities sprawling up to the surface of Saturn. Our main character, Bobo, is an illegal singer who has been imprisoned for playing music, an action strictly forbidden in the Silent Society. She has just made her escape from the prison when she comes across a jukebot, ancient technology from a previous era who has the power to play music and use it to create electricity. Keylocker's combat features a tactical grid-based system, allowing for strategic decision-making on the battlefield. The base of the system, however, lies in the control of LP and EP. LP, life points, are your health, which can be lost very quickly if you do not defend yourself. EP, electricity points, can be built up by playing music in battle or by stealing the enemy's electricity. EP can be spent to charge your life attack. The strength of your own attacks will be determined by a timed hit button press, making the difference between life or death. Enemy attacks can also be parried by a well-timed button press, or proper execution of a minigame. With sufficient armor in place, parried attacks can then be countered, and your armor expanded for extra damage. But be alert, a counter can be countered, causing chaos on the battlefield. The last one standing is the law. Looks like the doppelgangster's tax evading days are over. If you want to see more of Keylocker, head over to our Steam store page, where we have a 3-hour-long playable demo available. And if you want something a little more spooky, check out our other game, Osteoblasts, the RPG by skeletons and for skeletons. We have released a new update to the game on Halloween featuring 14 new enemies, 11 new areas, and over 2 hours of fresh gameplay. Please check it out on Steam. Thank you for your time.
I cannot believe War Tales is coming out so soon. We just saw so many awesome looking games. You know, one of my favorite things about indie games is how they like to really blend genres, really mix things up, and they're not afraid to help push gaming in new directions.
I know I'm super excited about one of the upcoming games from one of the Mix alumni, Clever Plays. Rumors are that it's an exclusive world premiere, and from what I can tell, I think it's going to be a hit.
So get ready to jump into some action RPGs.
My family swore an oath to protect any who remain here. I will not fail. Put an end to evil, we need to know what lies beneath Oresa.
Hello, my name is Andrzej Strzelecki, and I'm Game and Creative Director of Gatewalkers Game. Gatewalkers is a cooperative action RPG with survival elements, where players travel across different worlds in order to save their own. During your quest in Gatewalkers, you will explore procedurally generated worlds, face hostile inhabitants, fight with extreme weather conditions like toxic atmosphere, lack of water, and more. Now, let me introduce some core features of Gatewalkers. So, as a Gatewalker, one of the few chosen one, you go through the gate and explore the worlds that lay on the other side. When you're playing Gatewalkers, you're able to team up with up to 3 other players, and you can try together to survive on the new worlds. You will be fighting there terrifying monsters. You will be facing extreme weather conditions like toxic atmosphere, etc. And what is more, when you are playing with your mates, you are able to combo your spells in order to cast a very powerful cooperative combos together. During your journey, you will explore a procedurally generated worlds with unique terrain features, plants and creatures. You will discover new resources and crafting materials. You will use these crafting materials in order to craft new items. So you need to discover appropriate recipe, write different worlds together, required resources, and finally you will be able to craft a new item. This is very important because in Gatewalkers there are no predefined character classes. Each item gives you a unique set of skills, so try tinkering with different builds. Take heavy armor and a healing staff to support your mates in the front line by tanking and restoring health. Remember, you are what you wear. And finally, the core element of the gameplay, the combat. The combat is truly skill-based. You need to aim with each spell, and you are able to dodge spell casted by your enemies. What is more, during your quest, you will be able to choose from multiple different solo combos. You will be able to create your build with different passive spells, and finally, if you are playing together with your mates, you will be able to cast really powerful cooperative combos together. Thank you very much for listening. It was a really short introduction to Gatewalkers. So follow us on Wishlist on Steam, and the game will be released in the first half of 2022. Thank you very much.
Don't be afraid of portals. Become a Gatewalker.
Hello, Mighty Warriors. We are Leo and Sergio, developers from Retroforge Studio.
Today we take a look at Soldiers, our debut game coming to PC and Switch in spring 2022.
Soldiers is a 2D Metroidvania with a strong focus on combat mechanics. Each encounter will test your skills, and you'll have to make the most of your character capabilities to emerge victorious. One of the most distinguishing features of Soldiers for a Metroidvania game is that it lets you choose between 3 different classes when you start the game, each of them with their own unique combat style.
The Scout is a balanced fighter that uses shield to counter the enemy's attacks.
On the other hand, the Archer relies more on agility to dodge and counterattack, and can target enemies from a safe distance.
Finally, the Caster is a high-risk, high-reward class focusing on raw power at the cost of fragility.
Soldiers also introduces a level up mechanic that differentiates it from the more standard Metroidvania. With every fight, you become more stronger and get experience, and you can level up to get more powers.
First, you get improved stats for your character that will allow you to face more and more powerful threats.
But more important, each level up will earn you a mastery point. Each soldier class has a unique skill tree available to them. Upon leveling up, you can spend 1 or more mastery points to unlock a new skill.
By unlocking a skill, you will gradually reveal the full power of your class.
Finally, we would like to take some time to introduce you to environmental puzzles.
The different regions you will visit in Terra Gaia will test your brain as much as your fighting skills.
During your adventure, you will collect powerful orbs that will allow you to interact with the world, but this is not the only use they have. They can also give you an important advantage during combat.
We hope you enjoyed this gameplay introduction of Soldiers. We have more exciting content to display yet to come later this year.
Soldiers is coming to PC and Nintendo Switch in spring 2022, but it's already available to wishlist on Steam.
See you, Mighty Warriors.
See you, Mighty Warriors.
Do you ever feel like you're reliving the same dream over and over?
Hi everyone, I hope you're enjoying the game showcase so far. I'm Sherveen, I'm the project lead over at Team Mid-Autumn, and I'm here to talk to you about our game for a bit. So Mid-Autumn is a roguelike dungeon crawler. You play as the next in line to take over as Guardian of the Spirit World. Half of your time is going to be spent exploring the town of Nambu Key. It's just really cozy. You'll be walking around, petting dogs and cats, talking to townsfolk, drinking boba, and the other half, you will be going into the spirit world and moving through its many chambers, clearing the rooms of pests and figuring out its mysteries. For those of you who haven't been following the game up till this point, we had a huge outpouring of support during our Kickstarter campaign that I'm super humbled by. We actually managed to reach our funding goal on the day of the Real World Mid-Autumn Festival, which was super surreal. In the meantime, we've taken some time to rest. We've been working on a number of characters, new enemies, gameplay, and we're excited to make the rest of the game. Thanks for listening to me rambling about this game I'm making, and come check out the game. You can wishlist it on Steam. Please wishlist it on Steam if that's something you want to do. I'm not going to tell you how to live your life. I'm Sherveen. Once again, I'm the project lead here at Team Mid-Autumn. I hope everyone enjoys the rest of the game showcase. Thanks so much, everyone.
And we're back. Oh my god, Beneath Orisa looks incredible. I cannot wait to play it. And once again, we want to give a huge thank you to Justin and the creative team over at The Mix for having us on and letting us be a part of this showcase. Look, I know you've seen a lot of games, but there are more to come. So we're going to go ahead and give it back to Candace and Justin. And this is Burnout Brighter out.
Peace out.
Thanks so much to our friends at Burnout Brighter, Destiny, Matt, and Darren for introducing some terrific RPGs and for always repping The Mix. You guys are awesome.
Yeah, thanks, guys. I mean, so much of the video game culture is about working with each other in inspiring ways in order to reach our goals. So Burnout Brighter being a part of The Mix is very special to us. Our next segment of games is from a talented collective residing in one of our favorite Nordic regions.
Check out some new experiences from the Aurora Punks cohort.
Get ready for the new and awesome edition of Kung Fury Street Rage, A Day at the Beach. What could possibly be more epic than a true hero? Another hero! Double Trouble. Enjoy the breathtaking multiplayer as Player 2 joins the fight. Yeah, 2! Because teamwork makes the dream work. Play as Hasselhoff. The world's most iconic lifeguard steps in with his singing prowess and... oh, that's some nice chest hair, sir. More action. More awesome. This game just has more. Choose your stage. Punch Nazis in the sewers, on the beach, in the Viking Age. Hell, punch Nazis everywhere, all the time. Kung Fury Street Rage. A Day at the Beach. Available right now on Steam.
For more Shense Club updates, check out the Pixedom YouTube channel.
Do you have what it takes to save the world? Do you have what it takes to hop? Play as Hoppus, a newly squared wizard's apprentice, trying to save the world, one leg at a time. Embark on a glorious mission to reach the king before it's, something about a prophecy? Conquer harsh terrain and master even the most challenging of climbs. And if you need a helping leg, bring a friend on your epic journey. For better or worse, together you will be unstoppable. That was close. Almost there. Well, if that doesn't work, you can always take out your frustrations on each other in Versus mode. Hoplegs save the world on Steam and Nintendo Switch.
You know, Justin, it is super exciting to see these teams pop off with new projects and bring back some classics. Kung Fury has been on ice for a minute, and I am so pumped that it's being thought out for everybody to blaze up again.
I can't wait to blaze that thing up myself. Next up, we have a set of high-octane shooters that are sure to pop your weave and blow your wig into the stratosphere, including an exclusive trailer of Critical Reflexes' Rose and Locket.
Wait, what are you talking about?
Never mind. Let's ride.
Let's go.
Commander, we're ready.
We will resist till the end. We will defend our nation. We will fight for the homes of our people. We will engage those who wish us harm. We will battle on solid ground and among the stars. We will confront them. We will repel them in the craters of Eris. We will never capitulate. And even if the bulk of this star system were conquered and in ruins, we will persevere until our fledgling nation grows into its full might and peace is returned to humanity and its allies.
about, Mama?
We just follow the path. Before trouble found us.
Hello everyone, thank you for joining our stream. We are super excited to bring you more gameplay from the latest footage of the Crackpad show. So as a reminder, each time you start a run, you need to choose some perks, and if both players can do the same, there's time to fight. And Cloud always wins. It's impossible to beat her actually.
Oh no, I missed.
But you still managed to win. How is that possible?
I don't know.
Super. Yeah, and now you have multiple paths to choose from, and we have to decide actually how we should proceed, and it's always ending with a boss fight. So
I think the left
will be. Yes. Because the fish are perks, then you have weapons, and the skulls are just rooms with enemy. And if you have a small skull in the top right corner, this is an elite room, which is even tougher. More ways.
Nothing is stuck for us.
Yeah. Milking some likes.
Die. A heart. On the right.
Oh.
Take it.
Okay.
Scout, take it.
No, Sharky, I hate you. Why you took it from me?
Don't be mean.
Yeah, not that we can do.
Now I will take the
Oh, we can reroll again. Oh wow. That's so fast.
Candy, my hat definitely got jostled by that bullet frenzy. The Crackpad show just looked bananas.
Well, fashion and gunplay, I don't know what else to say, except, remember you guys, we have teamed up with Valve to showcase the games in this broadcast in order to support the devs. So be sure to check out the Mix Next event page on Steam, where you can learn about the games, you can buy games that are available now, or add to your wish list of games that haven't been released yet. You guys know that these wish lists are so important to the devs and it helps them out so much, so thank you guys in advance.
Definitely make that happen and check out their games on consoles everywhere as well, PlayStation, Xbox, Nintendo, all that stuff. When you play some indie titles, you just want to say to yourself, that was different. That was perplexing and interesting. Check out this next set of thought-provoking and interesting games from various genres.
Hey!
Hello!
Here is Marina.
And this is Igor, and we will tell you about our first project, One Day More. This is Hanna, and she's a young girl, and she has to find her friends in the city and persuade them to come together on a small music competition.
And do amazing things like this.
Yeah. Ooh, look at it! It's gorgeous. Oh, good thing.
Yeah, small one.
This is so dangerous! Don't do that in real life. The story in this achievement. All achievements can show you the relationship between characters in the past, and you can see these small details there.
Yeah, and they also you can collect them in your Steam account or our Xbox account.
Ooh, look at this world. You can explore everything here, and it's so fantastic. You can find so great details and Easter eggs here, and ooh, what will you do?
Okay, done.
Just do that in real life as well.
Guys, thank you very much for your attention. Marina, main producer.
And Igor, CEO and the founder of Blood Studio.
Please add our game to your wish lists, and release will be next year.
Let us know if you have any questions.
Bye bye.
Bye bye.
안녕하세요. 저는 터틀크림의 박선용이라고 합니다. RP7은 세상에서 가장 단순하고 추상적인 던전 크롤러 RPG입니다. 그럼 슬롯들을 돌려서 게임을 시작해볼까요? 이 게임은 캐릭터를 움직이는 대신 슬롯을 돌려서 진행합니다. 기본적으로 몬스터와 대결해서 경험치를 얻고 그 경험치를 통해서 강한 아이템을 획득하고 살아남는 과정은 다른 게임들과 비슷합니다. 그런데 이 모든 과정을 7개의 슬롯을 각각 돌려서 플레이해야 한다는 점이 다른 게임들과 완전히 다른 점입니다. 보시다시피 몬스터와 전투하거나 방패를 먹어서 방어력을 회복하거나 물약을 먹어서 회복하거나 플레이어에게 치명적인 폭탄을 해체하는 과정 역시 슬롯을 돌려서 해결합니다. 여관에 왔네요. 여관에서 쉴지 말지를 고르는 것도 슬롯을 돌려서 결정합니다. 꿀잠 잤네요. 던전에서 열심히 모은 골드로 중간중간 상점에서 멋진 아이템들을 살 수 있습니다. 그런데 아이템은 최대 7개까지 밖에 장착할 수 없기 때문에 자신만의 아이템 조합을 만들어야 합니다. 던전에는 다양한 개성을 가진 몬스터들이 존재하는데요. 이 해골들은 양 옆에 같은 해골이 있을 때 더 강력한 힘을 발휘하는 몬스터입니다. 거미에게 물리면 중독 상태에 빠져서 한번 이동할 때마다 하트가 조금씩 깎입니다. 너무 걱정 마세요. 그래서 해독제도 만들어 두었습니다. 폭발 슬라임은 터지면서 주변의 물체들을 다 깨버리기 때문에 오브젝트 배치를 잘해야 됩니다. 이제 보스들을 만나볼까요? 보스들은 저마다 강력한 능력을 가지고 있습니다. 보스들과의 전투 역시 7개의 슬롯을 돌리면서 진행하는데요. 각 보스마다 특별한 슬롯셋을 가지고 있기 때문에 그에 대응해서 플레이해야 합니다. 이 전염병 의사 보스 같은 경우에는 주기적으로 모든 슬롯을 독약으로 바꿔버리기 때문에 순발력 있게 대응해야 합니다. 한번 잡아볼까요? 잡았네요. 실제로 플레이해보시면 생각보다 잡기 어려울 겁니다. 지금까지 RP7이었습니다. 게임은 2022년에 출시됩니다. 기대 많이 해주세요. 고맙습니다.
Next up, our very own mixed collaborator and social media expert Victoria Brown is going to pop in to say hi and introduce some story-driven and simulation titles.
Take it away, Victoria.
Thanks, Justin. Hello, everyone. My name is Victoria from The Mix, also known as content creator Contraviction. As a big fan of story-driven games, I greatly appreciate developers who not only take the time to craft a great story, but beautiful environments and unique art styles. From abandoned planets and stranded islands to haunted lakes and pixel cities, here are the games that will be featured in this narrative-driven segment called Stories and Sims.
G'day, I'm Goldie, part of the team making Wayward Strand, and I'm going to demonstrate our game's unique style of storytelling. Wayward Strand is a heartfelt narrative game in which you explore many interwoven storylines. We wanted to create a living, breathing world, one with many characters who each have agency within their own lives. In order to achieve this goal, we've developed our approach of simultaneous stories. In Wayward Strand, you play as Casey, a quiet, curious teenager who is visiting an airborne hospital for the first time. After a gentle introduction, you are given total freedom over who to talk to and where to explore while time passes for everybody on board. Just like you, each character is walking around, chatting with other people, or hanging out in their rooms where you can come by for a visit. To demonstrate this mechanic, let's start by going to Ida's room. Notice the current time, just about 10 o'clock in the morning.
Ida, please, Ida. We're all friends here. Welcome to the hospital.
As you sit with Ida, she'll talk about what's currently on her mind, or ask you about what's on yours. While you are getting to know Ida, in the next room over, there are two other residents, deep in conversation.
I've got some gorgeous glosses of myself in younger years.
Let's jump into another playthrough from the same time, 10 AM. In this playthrough, you visited Mr. Avery a little earlier and have taken a seat in his room. Now, instead of getting to know Ida at 10 AM, you are watching Mr. Avery conduct an interview with Esther about life on the airship.
This is fortuitous, young Casey. Mrs. Fitzgerald and I will be conducting an interview.
At this same time, you could be anywhere on the ship, and with any of over a dozen different characters. You might be having a confronting first encounter with the ailing Dr. Bouchard. Or, if you feel like spending time with someone closer to your age, you can get to know Ted, a Boonwurrung teenager who knows more about the ship than anyone else. You choose how to spend your time, by exploring the airship and its history, investigating circulating rumours and gossip, or offering those aboard your friendship and support. Each playthrough is an opportunity to follow a different path through the game's storylines, to find secrets that you missed, or deepen your insight into what happens aboard the ship. And each time you play, you'll only see a fraction of what goes on in this busy hospital. A wonderful way to play Wayward Strand is at the same time as a friend. Afterwards, you can share your discoveries with each other, build your understanding together, and discuss its themes and situations. We're really excited about this storytelling structure for many reasons, but most of all for how it adds life and depth to these unique stories. Stories which are touching, empathetic, and personal. Wayward Strand is currently in development and will be coming to PlayStation 5, PlayStation 4, and Steam. Thank you very much for watching, and please feel free to stay in touch at waywardstrand.com.
Silence hung thick in the ethereal air, as if God himself were holding his breath. But God had forsaken this place, and a demonic creature made it its home. The revelations
Hello, and welcome to the Bookwalker gameplay walkthrough demonstration. In this video, we'll do a deep dive into some of our game's details, showing you a sneak peek of what the Bookwalker is all about. You play as a rogue writer whose superpower is to traverse the world of literature in search of ancient artifacts. Let's jump right into it. Now we're in the book world, and we have to find our own path through the story. We try to give players a choice, especially one that can lead to exciting or amusing situations. For example, a closed door may be opened in many different ways. Our hero can be badly hurt, even during the dialogue scenes, so you make your choices wisely. Even though our hero has been handcuffed and stripped of his writing abilities, he can still use a little ink to alter the narrative and thereby influence the book from the inside, changing its reality. Nothing helps us open this door, so we will try to use the items we found in the location and the crafting table in our room. Let's get back to reality. This is your workbench. Here you can craft various items that might help you on your journey through the extraordinary worlds inside of books. Let's make a lockpick this time. You can explore your house in search of items, talk to your neighbors, and ask them for help when you need a particular item to proceed with your tasks. Take your time and look around. Let's get back to the book and open the door. A large part of the prison is now available for players to explore freely. We will not go into all the details today, as we want to let the players figure out for themselves what exactly happened here. As we already mentioned, not all books may be what they seem at first glance. We work hard to ensure that each of them hooks you with its unique and profoundly crafted world, not forgetting the fun interactions with the environment and the exciting obstacles the hero will encounter along the way. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the Bookwalker.
Hello everyone, I'm Charles Bardin, game designer and co-composer at the French video game company Glitchy Studio, and today I'd like to show you our game, A Musical Story. As the name suggests, it's a game that mixes music and storytelling in a very special way. Our character, Gabriel, is in a coma. Thanks to the connections to his musical memory, we're gonna help him remember the events that led him here. Gabriel's memories are constructed in layers, like music. Successfully playing a layer unlocks a fragment of memory. There is no playhead like in most musical games. You start by listening to a musical phrase, and then you have to play it back by relying on your ear as much as possible. Once all the musical layers have been played, the entire memory unlocks. The game is set against a 70s backdrop, with influences from Pink Floyd, Led Zeppelin or Jimi Hendrix. Gabriel and his friends decide to cross their country to participate in the legendary Pinewood Festival. During his road trip to Pinewood, Gabriel will experience everything impactful life has to offer. Friendship, love, simple moments of happiness, but also very hard times as he struggles with addiction. The entire story is told without using a single word. You'll experience Gabriel's journey through music and visuals alone. Our game is thought of as a great interactive musical film. in which the player and the character are linked by the thread of musical memory. We spent a lot of time creating and refining this new kind of experience, and we hope that it will succeed in touching you and getting you on board. The game will be released soon on Nintendo Switch, PC, PlayStation 4 and 5, Xbox One, Xbox Series X and iOS. Stay tuned for more information. See you soon.
Peggy 18.
Martha is Dead is coming to PC, PS5, PS4, Xbox One, and Xbox Series X and Series S consoles. Martha is Dead is a dark first-person psychological thriller set in 1944 in Italy. It blurs the lines between reality, superstition, and the tragedy of war. As the conflict intensifies between German and Allied forces, the desecrated body of a woman is found drowned. Martha. Martha is dead, and her twin sister Julia, the young daughter of a German soldier, must alone deal with the acute trauma of loss and the fallout from her murder. The hunt for the truth is shrouded by mysterious folklore and the extreme horror of war that draws ever closer. From a narrative perspective, Martha is Dead is an exploration of loss, relationships, and the psychological undertones of a dark period of history, all seen through the eyes of a young woman who seeks the truth, but who also has secrets of her own to hide. Players will be able to freely explore the breathtakingly realised Tuscany countryside on foot, by boat or bike. Grounded in reality, Martha is Dead setting and historical context are inspired by real facts and places that have been faithfully reconstructed in true LKA fashion. Martha is Dead is a truly unique experience. It straddles a fine line between multiple genres, pulling devices from each to craft a wholly new, unrivaled experience, whilst also dismantling traditional expectations. What is most unique about Martha is Dead is that the true protagonist of the game is the story. Complex and intricate, entirely based on a distorted version of the world, alternating between dream and reality sequence, which are often hard to distinguish from one another. Martha is Dead blends psychological, horror and thriller elements together as one. The team at LKA have also introduced a rather robust camera system within Martha is Dead. Julia is an avid photographer, and as such, throughout the story, players will be able to use her camera to take pictures for their own pleasure. The camera will also feature in progressing the story and will also allow the players to discover more about the game world itself. Martha is Dead also guides you through 1940s photography, where you'll be able to develop your own actual photos taken within the game through a fully working in-game darkroom. Thank you all for taking the time to watch this presentation.
In the vast and wondrous reaches of deep space, you are not alone. It's time to return to the sci-fi universe of Out There. In Out There, you are a starship captain on a voyage like no other. Travel to distant stars and witness wonders never seen by human eyes. Encounter strange beings from unknown species, multiple endings, and a uniquely generated galaxy bring infinite replayability. 7 years ago, a whole new universe was born. Created in 2014 by artist and game developer Michael Piffer and renowned writer Fibre Tigre. Out There was an early indie games cult hit, selling over 500,000 copies and inspiring a global fan base. In the original Out There, you awaken from a cryosleep aboard the Nomad, but you are not in our solar system, and you are very much alone. Players all over the world were captivated by Out There's beautiful 1980s comic book aesthetics. Out There was an epic adventure of hard-won survival, but also full of emotion and wonder. Now, in 2022, we at last returned with Out There Oceans of Time, the most ambitious Out There game yet. The core creative team of artists have all returned to create this bold new vision of Out There. Miklo Studio and Modern Wolf invite you to explore the rich, unique universe of Out There Oceans of Time. What will you find in the vastness of the galaxy?
Next is a bite-sized version of the annual Wholesome Direct Showcase featuring independent, volunteer-driven content organized by the Wholesome Games community to spotlight uplifting and thoughtful indie games.
We will catch you in a minute.
Hi, welcome to Wholesome Snack, a bite-sized celebration of wholesome games. I'm Jenny Wyndham, and before we get started, if you see any games you're interested in, please go to wholesomegames.com to find out more about each title and ways to support the developers. So without further ado, let's get started.
War is over, but it closed your heart and your fist. Now, open your arms to heal the wounds of the past. Learn to create, forget to destroy. Your sword is back in its sheath, except to cut wood. Discover what you always knew. Defend what protects us. Ghosts remind you of what you wanted to forget. Remember, it is easier to make war than make peace. Akka is a small open world, a secret garden, a retreat of a busy world where empathy is a remedy to remorse.
Next up, we've got some exciting news from one of my favorite wholesome games of all time. Our next game finds players cast away on an island populated by friendly frogs. It's time for Trading Time. Get ready to play as a male scout and deliver your very first letter. Sounds pretty straightforward, right? Well, let's find out a little bit more. You may remember our next game from our first ever Wholesome Direct back in 2020, which feels like at least 5 years ago by my count. But anyway, here's the new trailer for The Spirit and the Mouse. From the creator of the delicious lemon cake and the adorable Punny Park, it is time to saddle up to the ranch of Rivershine. Want to help a tiny little mushroom find its way home? Well, I've got the game for you. This next game is a co-op adventure about two unlikely companions. Rivertales Stronger Together is a 3D platformer about a cat and a fish who must work together to overcome challenges that would be impossible to do alone. as a little kitty with a big personality in Little Kitty Big City. Explore the city, make some friends, and perhaps get into a little mischief. Last December, I told you about Slice of Life, Songs from Wholesome Games, a vinyl record that included contributions from A Short Hike, Spiritfarer, and many more. Just about a year later, and I am overjoyed to tell you that we raised over $10,000. So here's a little video put together by the folks at the Galaxy Fund to say thanks. It even includes words of wisdom and encouragement from some of the developers and musicians who gave life to Slice of Life.
Hey everyone, my name is Ava Carr. I'm the founder of Glitch and also the creator of the Galaxy Grant. From nothing to something, the Galaxy Grant is a prototype fund that's focused on the earliest stages of game development. Last year, the Wholesome Games community contributed over $10,000 to cap off our incredible, groundbreaking, out-of-this-world $50,000 raise through Slice of Life Songs from Wholesome Games that was all directly awarded to 5 exceptional artists. To celebrate, we wanted to do something special, so we asked for a little help from all of our friends.
Congratulations to all the grant recipients.
Huge congratulations.
We're really, really glad that we could contribute in our own little way.
I'm really excited to see and play these prototypes.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, that's so sweet!
We love that the Galaxy Fund is helping to lower the barrier of entry into creative endeavors.
Every game presents their own unique sets of difficulties, but if you ever feel like you hit a roadblock or you need help or you need some advice, reach out to people, because one thing that I wish I would have known is how eager to help everybody is.
I know firsthand how important it can be to have that moral and financial support at the beginning of a project.
We've had our fair share of people telling us our gameplay vision would not sell, and also a myriad of other problems that tend to come up.
You know, it is so difficult. This landed at like just the perfect time of that little like inch of keep going, and like it was just so helpful. And like, you know, it's the funding is such a crucial part of it.
I was just really like surprised and excited when we heard that like Wholesome Games was doing like the whole vinyl for the Galaxy Fund.
I hope this fund helps smooth over some bumps and potholes as you make your game. I hope it buys you some time and power to create with fewer compromises.
Be sure to take care of yourself. It's really easy to go get crazy during game day.
Sure is.
And just best of luck with everything.
Play the game with as many people as you can. People who are going to give you like critical, real feedback, not just your best friends who are going to say it's great.
Man, should I be taking notes? Advice? I'm like saving like their words of wisdom so I can keep remembering it for later.
Like when I looked at the faces on the video, I'm like, this is exactly who I expected to come and like help support us. Like people who like people who cared and have been through this.
I hope that we can continue to keep raising each other up, and I can't wait to see all the games that you guys create.
So congratulations, Daisy, Geneva, Latoya, Jules, and Kat. All your projects look beautiful.
We're super excited to see what this year's and future years Galaxy Fund recipients have in store for us.
Because the more that you share of your perspectives and imaginations, the better off games are. And the richer we all become in the ways that matter most.
These small actions absolutely matter. And it just makes me feel good and supported to feel like there's a whole community of creators that wants to tell more stories than just what the industry thinks is profitable in a given year. And to know that we're all part of that fight is really reassuring.
Thank you to everyone who has purchased, contributed, or promoted the vinyl. We're wishing the best to everyone.
Thank you for stepping up to the challenge of being creators.
Remember that you're not alone, and keep the spark that got you started.
We can't wait to play your games.
Good luck, guys.
Good luck.
Wow, thank you, Wholesome Games. I'm just very grateful.
It was nice to see the faces of the folks who helped to contribute to this.
And I'm excited to put the prototype out in the world next year. Yep, next year. Wow.
Since then, we've also launched supportgalaxy.fund, a website where you can find the recipients of each round of grants that we raise through the Galaxy Fund, along with the prototypes that were made directly from your contributions. What you'll also find is a nomination form. Starting today, you can nominate someone to receive future grants from the Galaxy Fund. Nominate your friend, nominate your crush, or better yet, nominate yourself. Thank you to everyone for your support, and you'll be hearing from us again real soon.
And that brings us to the end of our program. A heartfelt thank you to all the developers who participated, the wonderful folks at The Mix for hosting us, and to you for watching. Remember, if you are interested in any of these titles, check out wholesomegames.com for all of the links and details on how to support each developer. I hope you enjoyed this little snack. I'll see you next time. Bye!
Thank you so much, Jenny. As always, love the work you do and the team at Wholesome Games. You guys put together a blazing showcase.
I agree, and I'm really looking forward to nibbling on those nutritious snacks.
Mad tasty. Moving right along, we are revealing some Twitch action games, which is one of my favorite genres. Starting off, we have a brand new Sega Genesis title called Phantom Gear from our homies at Bit Rules and Megacat Studios. We'll be following that up with a new reveal for the Samurai Combat Sim Die by the Blade.
Let's go.
Hi, I'm Arthur Becker, creative director, lead artist, and one of the founders of Grimbar Tales, a small indie studio based in Kaiserslautern, Germany. Grimbar's Nest is currently working on our first project, Itora. Itora is an action-adventure in which you take on the role of our purple-haired heroine, who seems to be the last human in a strange world called Naokan. On her journey through several beautiful landscapes, Itora meets a colorful cast of quirky characters, including a chatty and loudmouthed weapon, Koda. Yep, the axe can actually talk. she also encounters the reckless explorer Ahui and other friendly inhabitants of Chimali who help her with words and deeds. Soon Itora realizes that this world is not as peaceful as it appears to be. A mysterious plague is spreading across the land. It's affecting the Nahu, and the creatures of the world seem to change with it. To save the lush and green land of Nahukan and to unravel the dark mystery of humanity's disappearance, you will make your way through different biomes, explore its temples, learn new abilities, meet many bizarre characters, and combat hostile creatures. Smaller ones and big ones, and even bigger ones. I can promise you that behind the many layers of color lies a deep, emotional and gloomy story that will appeal to all ages and leave you curious for more. But I don't want to give too much away. Itora's universe is filled with many memories that fascinated us as children. Our goal is to create similar experiences for future generations and to let older generations revel in nostalgia. So Itora became a nice genre mix of tricky platforming passages, lots of little corners to explore, and goal-orientated level layout. The balance between platforming, combat, small puzzles, and impressive visual storytelling should be challenging, but not frustrating. Thus, Itora may be easy to learn, but hard to master. As you unlock new abilities, you will have all sorts of options for cool trick jumps and combos that will let you move through the world at your own pace. While watching this video, you may realize how much attention to detail has been put into Itora. We place special emphasis on finest quality work because your audiovisual experience is essential to us. All assets are hand-painted and the animations are polished par excellence, as well as the composed soundtrack and special effects from our dope partners in Munich. Itora is an absolute project of the art, in which a lot of love and effort is put, as we're trying to make the dream come true. If you like what you see, and rave about this game as much as we do, we'd be happy to receive your support. Follow us on our social media platforms and wishlist Itora on Steam. At this point I would like to say goodbye and thank you on behalf of the whole team. Hope to see you around. Stay shiny.
world is completely devastated and there's no trace of human life. All machines seem to have been corrupted. All but one, you. As a powerful mech battle unit, your task is to find your pilot, who happens to be your dearest friend. You will have to travel the world, searching for clues, learning about what happened, and the enemy AI won't make it easy. My name is Mateusz Sworakowski. I'm a designer cool to play, and this is Uragan. It's a top-down action game in which you control a mech equipped with a deadly and customizable arsenal to fight against endless hordes of machines. Each mission is a handcrafted challenge, fine-tuned to test your skills. Every fight will require a good dose of reflexes, strategy, and improvisation. It's up to you how will you approach and deal with the danger lurking around every corner. Hacking terminals, finding keys, or simply eradicating all existing threats are some of the objectives you will have to achieve to successfully complete a mission. Our main objective is to have very fluid action gameplay. We want to offer a combat system that is both rewarding and worth mastering. The movement is super important. You are equipped with powerful jet engines that can be used for both evasive and aggressive maneuvers. The mech can fire its left or right weapon in any direction, even simultaneously. Each weapon has its own strengths and will be more effective based on the opponent and the situation. The real game changer, though, lies in so-called heat attacks. These are special unique skills powered by heat, the resource left behind whenever an enemy is destroyed. Be careful, as heat disappears pretty fast. Before each mission, you'll be able to equip your favorite loadout. The more you play, the more things you unlock. Feel free to experiment with your weaponry and, most importantly, have fun doing it. This is all we're ready to show for now. We're working on new environments, enemies, and a deep upgrade system for your weapons and attacks. Check out the game on Steam, follow our social media, and join us and other gunners on Discord. Cheers!
Coming up hot for a minute.
Hi, I'm Neil, Marketing and Community Manager of Ronimo Games. We are the creators of Blightbound, a 2.5D cooperative dungeon crawler. We would love to show you Blightbound's massive 1.1 update, which consists of one of the most requested features by the community, offline mode, as well as new hero, new challenge rooms, new items, and much more. Today, we're going to take a look at the new hero releasing the 1.1 update, Seer Rook. As a mage, Rook is able to cast Spirit Shot and Heal Beam with his staff. His Titan skills are Unleash Spirits, which allows him to send out a cone-shaped piercing blast, and Spirit Coffin, which allows him to trap one enemy for a short duration. For his ultimate ability, Rook can turn into an invincible Frost Skull which causes high damage for a few seconds. Rook's unique passive ability is called Exorcist, which grants him a 90% cooldown reduction on his Unleash Spirits Titan skill when he has an enemy trapped in his coffin. In Blightbound, every party consists of a warrior, an assassin, and a mage. Every class has their own specialties, but it's up to the player to deck out their heroes with items that suit their own unique playstyles. There are more than 200 unique items in Blightbound for players to experiment with and min-max their builds. Team synergy is also incredibly important, especially in tougher dungeons. In a party you see, the warrior has a sword equipped which spends rage points to draw nearby enemies closer, at which time the assassin and mage use high damaging abilities to finish off the grouped enemies. For players who want an extra challenge, Blight Rifts will randomly spawn in levels when playing on a higher difficulty. These are tough challenge rooms where players aren't punished for failing but are handsomely rewarded with Blight Rift exclusive loot for completing them. Whether a success or failure, players are teleported back to where they left the level. In this case, Rook managed to score the Canister of Life, which is a blighted trinket, the rarest and most powerful loot tier in the game. We rejoin the party as they are engaged in an exciting boss fight. At the end of dungeons, the party must defeat a boss, which is no small feat. In this level, players are up against the Writhing Oracle, who rules over the Gravemark with the din of her twin bells. The party must destroy the bells to expose the Oracle's vulnerability, before finishing off and teleporting back to the refuge with all their loot. The refuge is the hub where all the heroes and survivors gather. Every new hero you unlock also brings with them a legendary or epic item. The player starts off with just 3 heroes and a handful of items. Throughout their journeys, they will unlock new locations, find new heroes, rescue new survivors, loot exotic items, and grow the refuge into a prosperous stronghold against monstrosities of the Blight. Level up your heroes, equip them with the sweet loot you scored, and get ready to conquer your next dungeon. Thanks to the Mix Next Showcase event for hosting us. Blightbound is available to cross-play on Steam, PS4, and Xbox One. The game is also discounted on Steam this weekend to celebrate the 1.1 update. Players on Steam can also claim and keep the Fancy Flamingo cosmetic, which will no longer be available after the weekend. We hope you enjoyed this gameplay commentary video, and we wish to see you in-game.
Our final selection is Black Voices in Gaming, which is near and dear to my heart. We started Black Voices in Gaming during the first Guerrilla Collective event with the help of Raw Fury, Kickstarter, and other partners, and have recently transitioned it into a non-profit organization. More info on that soon.
Make sure to check out these developers on blackvoicesandgaming.org and wishlist their games on Steam for additional support. Let's take a look.
I am Delta, a proto-droid.
You're another proto-droid? Like me? ¡Qué emocionante! I always assumed I was the only one.
You cannot allow the worthless lives of a few gang leaders to jeopardize the safety of thousands of civilians.
Life and death isn't yours to decide. We will find another way. In order to win, I must grow stronger.
Ay, mija, your blade is looking weak. Come, vamos! I will teach you my techniques.
You will be the change.
Hi, my name is Tuas Gomez, and I am the creator of Slime Heroes. Slime Heroes is a game where you play as an adorable slime. Your main objective is to save all the other creatures of the world by clearing the corruption off of them. Doing this will make you stronger and allow you to make some friends along the way. First off, you'll need to personalize your character. Change the eyes, mouth, and color to match your inner slime. You can also discover hats throughout the world to change the shape of your slime and customize it even more. As you start adventuring, you'll find lots of different corrupted enemies out in the world, each with their own unique skills. Slimes can defend themselves by forming different melee weapons to fight against the corruption, including swords, spears, hammers, and much more. Each goo weapon has its own moveset and feel for you to get comfortable with. Slimes can also consume the skills of each enemy as they defeat them. Consuming these, the slime can now use those skills, but can also make them your own by mixing and matching elements of the skills to create brand new ones never seen before. There are a wide variety of skills to discover, from fireballs to whirlwinds, meteors, ice breath, to even becoming a giant bowling ball. When you mix those together, who knows what will happen. There is a massive world to explore. Overgrown jungles, snowy tundras, and molten hot mountains. Use objects in the world like bouncing mushrooms to discover hidden paths and secret loot. You can also create your own path by freezing the water surface or by burning down branches blocking your way. Each area has its own unique enemies and boss. As you go deeper into the parts of the world, you'll discover the corrupted ancient gods. These are the toughest, most challenging boss battles in the game. Each boss has unique skills that you'll have to learn and overcome. Once each boss is cleansed, they will help you along on your journey, and they might even give you some sweet loot too. You can keep up with the latest news and updates on Twitter, like new bosses and co-op features. Also, please wishlist Slime Heroes now on Steam.
Hi, I'm Alex, the creative director at Soft Knot Week.
And I'm Rayjon, lead UI UX and audio at Soft Knot Week. And we're excited to show you Spirit Swap, lo-fi beats to match 3-2.
If you haven't seen our game before, it's a puzzle game inspired by the classic Panel de Pon / Tetris Attack, Pokemon Puzzle League, where you can vibe in our endless mode or get competitive with your friends.
Make friends, date friends, and enjoy a world of new millennium translucent neon vibes, jelly fashion, plant magic, thirst, and being unapologetically ourselves.
In Versus mode, you'll be able to play against a cast of hotties, like Mo, your childhood best friend who just went through a breakup with the town himbo, and Ganon, a literal angel walking the earth that no one will believe is a literal angel walking the earth.
Here you have Samar and Leon duking it out with a swath of combos and cascades to overload each other with garbage. As you swap it up, you'll build magic on your meter to trigger spells that'll save you from lockouts or freeze up the competition, putting a new spin on classic gameplay. And we've got a lot more where that came from.
That's it for today. Be sure to wishlist the game on Steam or hop into our Discord to chat with the team as we go through development.
And thank you to The Mix for letting us share with y'all today. And thanks to you for watching.
Bye.
Bye.
Kind folks. A city where humankind and monster folks live in peace has been taken over by a cruel monster folk general and given birth to a new era of human oppression and violence. Can you and the Adventurers Guild defeat Darlock and the evil at the heart of the city?
Fancy an adventure? With over 90 cards in my arsenal, I am a formidable force. Gungnir, who's next? kind.
It starts again. Wake up, my champion. Go find new companions. Defeat new enemies. Decide their fate. Go and save Gora.
Hey everyone, I'm Nick, developer of Great Force Mask of the Goddess, a real-time tactical shoot-'em-up inspired by classics like Mega Man Battle Network, with challenging fights on grid-based arenas. Don't be fooled by the easy-to-pick-up gameplay. Great Force is hard, so expect to die.
Okay.
And die.
Yeah, I'm gonna die.
And die.
No! Oh.
To master the game, you need to master its systems. First, choose your squad members wisely. Each of the 30+ characters have a unique game style that can change the course of the battle. For example, Bird's Heck Bomb skill. The story of Great Force is expansive and unlocks many new units, and with them, completely new strategies. During battles, make sure you manage your squad's energy, swapping characters on the fly and using their unique abilities to maximize damage and corner your enemies. Simply spamming your attacks can be fatal. Is the enemy too strong? Level up your characters, boosting their stats and unlocking new active and passive skills. And final tip, never stop moving. There are situations where enemies will attack you from everywhere. If you stay still, you die. Great Force will be released on PC and consoles in 2022. Play the demo available on Steam and wishlist now.
I've been out here a long time.
What's wrong?
My old mentor taught us to see the world through a prism. He called it the Vantage.
Snowman.
Karma steers.
So inspiring. Love those devs.
Agreed. You guys, we have a Black Voices in Gaming event coming up in December, so be on the lookout for more details soon.
Thanks once again to our sponsors, partners, and all of the homies for their support. Once again, we want to shout out PlayStation for supporting the Mix events all year, Xbox, Razer. They provided the equipment to make this possible. We are officially partnering with Roba, which is a new apparel and merchandising platform from the minds of IndieBox. They're going to be handling the Mix Next 2 gear, our shirts and everything like that. They provide quality merch services to all game developers regardless of size, budget, and release schedule. So check out our merch and the other merch on Roba. Also, our fellow devs and publishers, Tiny Build, Acapara Games, Assemble Entertainment, Aurora Punks, Critical Reflex, Draw Distance, Goblins, Graffiti Games, Hype Train Digital, Modern Wolf, Neon Doctrine, Raw Fury, Whitethorn Games, and of course, Intel with the Intel Game Dev Boost program, who has helped get visibility and discoverability for devs all over this mother freaking globe.
Which is so important. You guys, one last time, be sure to check out the Mix Next event page on Steam, where you can learn more about the games, buy games that are available now, or add to your wish list the games that haven't been released yet. Wish lists really help the devs, so let's make sure we do it.
Make sure to do that thing. And we have to thank the Mix team for putting this all together. Thank myself and, of course, my gorgeous guest.
Thank you. Thanks, Justin. This was really, really great. Thanks for having me.
So fun. Thanks to Wilmer Sound. We're in their beautiful facility right now. The Mix team, AV Society, Timmy, Abe, Cassie, Big Joel, Travis, Matt, Victoria, and of course the folks at Burnout Brighter. Wholesome Games.
Yeah, Wholesome Games.
For that
you can't
snack.
forget them.
Thank you so much. Thanks to all the teams who share their amazing games on the showcase as well. Follow The Mix at Indie Exchange on Twitter, at Media Indie Exchange on Instagram and Facebook and every other social platform out there. Subscribe, follow us on Twitch and YouTube. Once again, I am your host, Justin Woodward.
And I'm Candace McKenney.
We are signing off. Peace.
Thanks, everybody.
We want to thank everybody, of course, for participating in the Mix, supporting the Mix. This was only done from the support of our sponsors. All the developers have helped to contribute to make this thing possible. Our whole team, we are also an indie company as well, just to make this happen, because the visibility of developers is very important to us. And with that being said, if you want to further support the Mix, please jump to our Mix merch website, which is the details. We're going to put those below. Timmy, please put those below. We have great merch out here. I always rock these hats. People don't even know what I look like without a hat most of the time. We have these great pins by Fangamer. We also have Mix shirts, and we are putting together some amazing Mix shirts that will demonstrate the artwork that we have from folks such as Thunder Rocket, which is an amazing group that has worked with us, a graphic design agency. We work with illustrators on each one of our events because we just love new artwork and the artistry of video games in general. So yes, please support us and support yourselves by rocking some awesome gear. So check that out now, and we love you guys. Thank you so much. Peace.
Peace.